Namaste, Taurus. This is your end of finishing out the month of November and month of December reading. Actually, I'm going to use the other cards first, but these are your cards. I already shuffled them. I think yours is one of the signs that I did last month, but I didn't do all the signs in November because I started working on the election, poll worker and stuff, and I just didn't. So I figured let me do all 12 signs with both the finishing out the month of November and a separate spread for the month of December. So this is your November spread, and we'll begin with the Nine of Pentacles, which is your energy, of course, as a Taurus, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. This card is a positive one, basically in any and every aspect of your life, whether you are coupled or single. It can mean good things about a partnership. For example, people see one woman and think that it may not be a good card for love and relationship, but it indeed is. It is about mutual adoration and respect. Seeing each other in a positive light, and as somebody who is, like well-to-do, and whether not necessarily financially. I mean, it could be financial too, but just has themselves together. Basically, that's how the other person views you, and it's a mutual thing. It's reciprocity when you see this card. But it can also represent singles, at least for me. And is really good about having, really also about having a good relationship with yourself and working to develop that if you don't already. Spending time with you, getting to know and like and love you. Next card is upside down, so I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle these. I'm glad that you got to see these cards first, because now you've also seen that I'm beginning with the Tower. Otherwise, when I used the cards in December, and so maybe having seen the Nine of Pentacles, the Tower won't be as scary as it tends to be for some people sometimes. For me, it's the way I read it. It's a neutral card. It can be super positive. It can be a tower. I mean, you can get knocked off your feet, or surprised, like unexpectedly, in a positive way too. It doesn't have to be negative, just because the card is kind of scary, the illustration. All right. Let's see what we got now. We're still in your energy. As a matter of fact, we progressed. We leveled up one to the Ten of Pentacles, a very happy family life, financial security, and finding magic in the little things in life. So, for example, the Tower, when it comes to this, could be because there is maybe something going on with a family home. Maybe you inherited one. Could be unexpectedly, or unexpectedly you're having to sell your home, or you're buying a home you didn't get to. All of a sudden, maybe you wanted to start doing something like that months ago, but because of the pandemic, you couldn't. Everything was in a holding pattern. And now, all of a sudden, maybe unexpectedly, they call you and say, oh, yeah, we're going to let you go to closing. And so it's like, oh, okay. Like, very spur of the moment. It can be something like that. We'll get into more of it. In any case, this is, like I said, this is positive. As it relates to any and every aspect of your life, this is positive. It's about you having so many things to be thankful for. And I'm sure you earned it, right? You're a Taurus. You are a worker. You are committed. You are dedicated to the things that you put yourself, to do, the goals you set out for yourself. So I'm not surprised to see this. Next card is also upright. It is also your energy. It's the Page of Pentacles, who is scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters. So like I said, good news can knock you off your feet too. Can be something like that with the Tower, perhaps. Wanting to do something more challenging, and maybe a new area of study. It can be those things, and or something tied to an earth sign like yourself. This could be representative of your energy, period, or perhaps another earth sign that is significant to you, another Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn even, or someone likened to the traits and attributes of an earth sign. This now being your overall energy, very nice place to start. So this spread, any spread that I do can be read from any perspective you choose, but I do this one the way that I read it. I say that it's for singles or couples. So like this first card represents you as an individual or as a couple. And it's a very nice card for love and relationship. It's the King of Cups. Trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work. So, end of November, somebody could be getting engaged, married, or maybe just buying like the engagement ring or something like that, or a new home, or again decorating, getting a new apartment, deciding to cohabitate perhaps with a partner that is maybe a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Or again, like I said, this card representative of your own energy currently. Recent past. So recent past can be before today, before I did this reading, or it can be, let's say the reading goes through the 30th. Today is the 28th, so today could be the recent past when it's the 30th. So it depends. But recent past is a card similar to the Tower. It's Major Arcana card 21, the World, a job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. The World always feels like fire energy to me, so it may be connected to that of an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Right, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, or maybe specifically to the planets. I mean, I usually feel it more so that way as a karmic energy. So like maybe it's tied to Mars, ruler of the signs of Scorpio and fire sign Aries, or maybe it's tied to Jupiter, ruler of the sign of Sagittarius, where the sun is currently located, and the sun happens to be Leo's ruler. So it could be something like that. In any case, it is a card, like I said, for me, that's similar to the Tower, except the Tower is about abrupt change, and this one is change that the universe slowly eases you out of a relationship, a living condition, a job, something, eases you out of one and puts you in position for one that is much better for you, much better suited for you, aligned with your life purpose, and maybe puts you all the way into that new thing. Near future. Fear, 8 of Swords. So this is fear, lack of confidence, lack of esteem, perhaps an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and being afraid to take action. Afraid to take some sort of leap of faith. So like I said, universe may be moving you, easing you into a new situation, and change can be scary, especially if it doesn't look good on the outset, right in the outset. Like, wait a minute, what do you mean change? I've got a stable job. I don't want to get fired or laid off, or I don't want the company I work for to go out of business, or the company I own to go out of business, so I can get put into a new one. Like, that's scary. So it could be something like that. You're afraid to take some sort of leap, or maybe change careers or ease out of one. There's a completely new career path, for example, and being afraid to leap toward that, or lacking the confidence that you are able to do it. No, I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in this. I'm limited. Right? So you got to get out of that mindset. Masculine higher self. I look at the masculine because my viewership is mostly feminine, and or female, at least the last time I looked at it. So I like to see what's going on there. And this is another card that's representative of the lack of esteem and or confidence in oneself. It's a card of fear and distrust, including in oneself. Right? If you don't trust yourself, you're afraid to take a risk. You don't trust yourself to succeed. This is also a card of literal loss and or theft as well. Plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. Often where we see the 7 of Swords, we see maybe the 9, the 3, the 5, the 10. I mean, I guess the 8 sort of goes in there too, but they tend to show up in teams, in my experience. Like more will come out during the reading to give you a better idea of exactly what the deal is. Blocks to individual or shared progress. Page of Cups, intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase, and also there are heightened psychic abilities. So this can be a literal person that you feel stands in your way. Again, perhaps a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and or your emotions, or someone close to you, their emotions are what stands in the way. It's a block. Maybe you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. You're afraid, again, for your own feelings to be hurt. So sometimes we don't want to leave a relationship, or we don't want to speak up and say that we're unhappy, for example, in a relationship, because we might hurt the other person's feelings. We don't want to leave a job because we like our boss a whole lot, and we don't want to leave them like in a lurch when we know that they need support. So our emotions are involved, stuff like that. What the feminine can do to help herself with regard to the block. And it is the Three of Cups, a celebration, wedding, graduation, or birth announcement, and the need to have more fun. So this is a person. It can be about being social with this person, reconciling with this person, reuniting with this person. There's an opportunity for you to go out to be social, or to be social virtually, or something like that. This can mean that too. Or to celebrate some sort of success, to not be afraid to take it. Three of Cups also tends to be at least one happy reunion with someone or some things. Remember I said the Seven of Swords can be about loss or theft. So you could be reconnected with someone or something, and that's going to help you. What the masculine can do to help himself. And it is Major Arcana card 5, Unity, or the Hierophant, which totally represents your energy as a Taurus. This is the Taurus card in the tarot of the Major Arcana. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others. Like I said, reconciliation, getting together with people, reuniting maybe, making new friends, being social, who are also on a sacred path. These cups cards can also very much be about spirituality and increased psychic awareness and growth and all of that stuff. And so that may be a block too. Like working on that, and how you can help yourself is to spend time with people, or make adjustments to the people, places, and things with which you surround yourself, and maybe leave some things alone, or some people alone whose vibration is too low, and align yourself instead, or surround yourself instead with people, places, and things that match your vibration, or have a greater vibration, a higher vibration than your own, from whom you can learn something. This is also a card of partnership and contracts, including things like, home purchase or sale, right? Closing, or relationship, up to and including marriage. What the universe would have each archetype, masculine and feminine, to do, or both to do together, and even wants to help us with. So whether you're an individual or a couple or whatever, universe wants to help us with King of Wands. He is motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. That's what the universe wants to help us with. Maybe taking control of our own lives, actually being a leader, again, a boss at work or something. Taking advice from someone creative can help too. This King of Wands may be, and look, it's crossing the world, which I said it also is fire for me, may be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and directly connected to this situation that is changing, right? Something changing forever, coming to a complete end, perhaps. You've reached the end of the circle, the cipher, like the world. You went around 360 degrees, so that's the end of that, and we're starting something new. And an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or perhaps the planet Mars or Jupiter. So Mars is the planet of action and aggression. That may be what's motivating you. Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, karma, luck. So these cards about not feeling very risky, being afraid to take a risk, a chance on yourself. So luck, thinking your luck is down, and the universe is saying no. And the outcome. Seven of Cups, a complex decision. The need to do research. Stop procrastinating. And see if they'll show us what the decision may be about, at least for most. Although, I mean, based on the other cups, we can see it probably has something to do with some sort of commitment, whether it is, again, in a romantic way, it's having something to do with friends, or it's a business commitment, or something having to do with a living condition. I like to, when I clarify, I like to, it's one of the reasons why I like to use these decks is because I can tell whether the cards are upright or in reverse, and I like to pull the next upright card, having shuffled them and cut them into 10,000 piles and all of that. Still looking for the next randomly upright card to clarify anything I'm asking about. And there's the King of Swords. Brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional considerations. This seeking out of professional advice could be actually needing a professional like an accountant, a lawyer, a judge is often who the King of Swords is for me. So like a financial advisor, a spiritual counselor, a mentor. And or there is a legal situation perhaps for some of you, and this decision may be involved, attached to a legal decision, or again, something contractual having to do with a contract, a major change in your life. And that's the end of the rest of November going into December. And then we'll do another spread with the other tarot deck, the Rider-Waite cards for December. That's interesting too. The cards that we didn't use that were upside down, there was 2 8s right there on the top. And then another 7. So I've seen quite a bit of those 8s and 7s. Okay. So here we are back with the Tower. And this one can feel like fire for me too. And there's even fire in the card. Very suddenly something struck this tower, this actual building. And the tower can have to do with an actual building, like a home or something like that. And that was why I said those first. And sure enough, the 10 of Pentacles can be attached to a home, an inheritance, and a major asset or something as well. Also upright, we have another King of Swords. So like he was the outcome. He was what we ended on, leaving November. And now here he is starting off December. So that's interesting too. Again, he is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. If he's an actual air sign in your life, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Tied to some sort of loss, hurt, separation, maybe actual surgery or something. Not necessarily on the heart, but it could be heart surgery or something that somebody needs. Or maybe it's an elective, or at least semi-elective surgery that somebody's deciding whether or not they should get. That could be what's tied to the 7 of Swords. Someone close to you, or this could be you. Where it comes to conversations with people, where maybe saying the wrong things that are hurtful, and ending up in, with something like you can't take back. I mean, these cards show up to tell you that, remind you to try your best, make an effort to say what you mean and mean what you say, like the King of Swords is known for, to avoid hurt like this. And perhaps a direct water sign, as seen before with the King of Cups and the Page of Cups, ending up with their, sort of turned upside down. Maybe specifically a Scorpio, which could also be who that King of Wands was, because again, Scorpio is in part ruled by Mars. But the queen of any given element tends to be in the tarot the fixed sign of that element. So in this case, it would be Scorpio. Or again, this could be representing somebody's emotions and or you know, like intuitive feelings and just like your body talking to you, giving you some sort of warning, maybe about a financial matter or something with the assets. As I mentioned, the other thing could be inheritance. Perhaps somebody, you know, passed away, not necessarily during this period, but in general that's connected to you, and they left you something behind. And that's why it's sad, you know, because even though that you're coming into this abundance, it's attached to something sad, something left, you know, in with insurance or in a will. And so the way that you end up recovering it could be something that makes one sad. The Knight of Pentacles, this is also, again, your energy as a Taurus, as well as that of Virgo and Capricorn. And here we have another card. So I mentioned before that when you see the 9, the 7 rather, you often do see the 5, the 10, the 3. Oh, I didn't even think about it a moment ago. We just saw the 3, and here's the 10, also upright for you. This is betrayal, again, loss, hurt, maybe somebody that had been addicted to something, getting over it, or some sort of codependent situation other than addiction, and may involve 2 people, some sort of partnership. The fear of the loss, whether it is financial or something emotional or both, has you wanting to hold on very tightly to things that mean anything to you. And then the next card is finally upside down. As you can see, it is another 8. It is the 8 of Cups, which tends to be about wanting to leave something, walk away from something. This could be about marriage too. So like somebody's home basically is sort of blown up. My household. We're going before a judge. We want to get divorced. Okay, that's both painful and necessary, perhaps, and leaves you emotionally off. But here you are. Or it leaves the other person feeling that way. Like I said, maybe you don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings, but here you are standing up, you know, strong. After betrayal, perhaps, hurt, separation of this partnership. Okay, so now you want to hold on to what's rightfully yours, or at least your sanity, your peace of mind. And that brings us to Major Arcana card 19, the Sun. That represents the Sun represents the planet Jupiter in the sign of Sagittarius, which it rules. It too can be about separation, wanting a break, or even break up as it relates to love and relationship. So that could be, like I said, tied to the fire sign with the world, the fire energy. Here's another 8 of Swords for you. There's somebody feeling stuck in a situation. They want out. They want out. Want out maybe of some sort of partnership, whether it's business, a friendship, a family tie, or again, a marriage. Hierophant can be about marriage. This is you again, your energy. It's upside down now. That's about breaking with tradition. So maybe traditionally we don't get divorced in my family. Maybe we are Catholic or something. Just throwing that out there as a possibility. It could be any other ideology, any reason why we don't believe in separating. We believe in, you know, trying, and if it kills us. But I'm going to break with tradition and leave this person, place, thing, again, that does not align with me alone. And here you are again, King of Pentacles. Standing upright, strong, no worse for the wear. And now we have an overall energy, the 9 of Swords. With the 9 of Pentacles, with which we started with the other decks, now here in reverse behind it. And another 3 of Cups. Okay, another 3 of Cups. So it's still, that is upright. That's still about being celebratory about something. The 9 of Swords is also one of these cards that shows up. It's about anxiety and fear and, again, lack of confidence and maybe lack of sleep even. You're losing sleep over some sort of matter. But it's like when we're afraid and we don't have to be. We're anxious and we don't need to be. Like we're doing it to ourselves. We're the one who's focused or on something negative, whose head is in a bad space. And so we need to work on that. And maybe that's why we need to be the Nine of Pentacles. I'm going to pull 4 cards. This first one is going to most directly represent you over the period of the month of December. And it is your energy again. You are the fixed sign of the element of Earth. So this is like precisely your energy as a Taurus. Most, the Queen of Pentacles is most directly a Taurus, although it is also that of Virgo and Capricorn. Surrounding energy, close friends, family members, co-workers, something going on at the job. 4 of Wands in reverse. Work and finance. 10 of Wands upright. And lastly, love and relationship. 5 of Swords in reverse. And Major Arcana card 8, Strength, leapt out. So I think it may go with that. The strength to make it through whatever this difficulty or conflict may be here. And of course, Major Arcana card Strength again represents the sign of Leo. So more of that fire energy. Just going to make sure everything's in frame. Looks good. All right, I want to start by just summarizing very quickly to say that what I can see, whatever this spread means for you or however you resonate with it, Taurus is going to be okay. It looks like there's definitely something going on around you, and that may even involve you directly. But like you're going to come out of it unscathed, so we all have to experience, different things in life, and it's not all easy or pleasant, but you're going to come out of it, again, like I said earlier, no worse for the wear. So let's start from that premise and then go into the rest of the cards. So I already talked about the Nine of Swords, but again, I'll just reiterate it's a card of anxiety and fear. And you got to look closely at what it is you're worried about, because often you can realize that you're sort of anxious and afraid for nothing, like you're in control. But this is when we're feeling out of control. For some people, it can have to do with needing actual sleep. And for some of you, I think it has to do with that because of the 10 of Wands in your work and finance. The 10 of Wands upright means that you are severely overworked and feeling overburdened at work. You have an unrealistically heavy workload right now, and you shouldn't be afraid to ask for help if you need, and you definitely shouldn't be afraid to take some time. You can't work 24 hours a day. Take some time to get some rest, to protect yourself, to protect your own energy, your own health. And if there's some sort of higher up from you, a supervisor, a manager, an owner that's above you or something like that, that asks you to do something else, you should not hesitate to say, okay, and which thing should I cease doing? Which thing should I put down? Which thing should I stop doing? If you are, the boss of their own company, you should still ask for help. If you can't afford to pay somebody to work for you, then somebody that cares about you, ask them if they can, do some sort of solid and work a few hours or help you out with something with which you are behind, because you need it. And for those of you who are afraid because you're out of work, that may be why you're feeling like this. I don't know why I jumped to work first. But you're afraid because you're out of work, you're anxious because you're out of work, then and you haven't found anything yet. This card shows up to say not to be discouraged and to keep trying. You cannot fail. Again, the everything's in your favor to be successful at the end of the day, even if it feels difficult along the way. But in the meantime, worrying about your job is not going to help matters, nor is worrying about not having one. What will help you is thinking positively, because that's how manifestation works. And that 2 of Wands that we saw a couple times, right? It kept popping up. That can be about faith. 2s are not always about partnership or couples, they are also about balance. So, for example, here, no balance in your life. It's all work and no play, which makes Jack a very dull boy and Jill a dull girl, and an exhausted one, no less. Another meaning is faith. So, like in the manifestation process, that one is the thought, the idea, the words we speak over ourselves. Two is the faith that we believe that it can actually come to pass. Three, we see something taking form. And four of wands, in particular, is when we have successfully manifested something and we are content and joyous and happy. All right. I think we covered work, but I might as well do finance now too, since I jumped over there. So you may be robbing Peter to pay Paul, right, as they say. And if that's the case, you're going to want to look very critically at what's happening. Like, slow down and take a look. If you need help with that, that may be where the King of Swords comes in. Somebody that can, that is a professional in that area. Maybe he is a financial planner or analyst or bookkeeper, accountant. Many of us are with the swords, as are many of you guys, Taurians. So you may be able to do it yourself, but maybe just need a little bit of help, another set of eyes or something, some advice. Go to somebody. It doesn't have to be necessarily a professional that you hire, that you pay. Could be a friend that is King of Swords like, if not a direct air sign. And that will do. You also may be feeling overburdened and stressed out specifically about money, and wanting to hold on to as much as you can as possible, to take us back to the Four of Pentacles that we had, that we saw as well. And again, the best way to handle the situation, and to ease yourself, is to calmly, which is you guys too, right? You're like the most grounded and practical. You can sit down, again, maybe with the help of somebody else, and really look at what's going on with the finances. And is there reason to be as worried as you've been? And you should come to the realization that the answer is no. There's not. You're going to be just fine. So popping back to the beginning and the Queen of Pentacles, she's a super positive card. You're probably wanting to spend time, money, energy on your home or your environment, your surroundings, that which makes you feel comfortable, because you want to be more comfortable. And so this ties in with the other cards we saw too, where I said something could be going on with a home. And maybe you feel like you're just bleeding money and where am I going to get more of it from? Or I was in the middle of a home project and now, I can't finish it because I'm at work all the time or whatever. Okay. This is a positive thing that you're wanting to do, as long as you don't take on too much debt, so if that's your concern, avoid doing that. People also are probably going to be looking to you as sort of a King of Swords, right? You, for advice and help, and you will be able to help them. Like, if you're so inclined, though, because you may be exhausted. You may be, you may need some time for yourself. You got to be social. We saw the Three of Cups a couple times. You got to spend time. You need balance in your life. You can't always be working, whether it's for yourself or somebody else. Right? You got to take the time to implement that balance in your life. So that's the Queen of Pentacles. The Four of Wands is a positive card, whether it's upright or in reverse. As I said to you before we saw the Four of Wands, you have a lot to be thankful for, and that's what this card shows up to say to you also. And that some really surprising, maybe, so this could be tied to the Tower, unexpected good fortune could be headed your way. But you'll still need to continue your hard work in general, right? Not to just like lay back and say, okay, things are, are going to be going well for me. Let me slack off. It's not the time to slack off, but it is the time to count your blessings and expect more. We talked about the Ten of Wands already, so now I'll go to love and relationship. I'm surprised I didn't start with that, actually, because the Nine of Swords, your overall energy as it relates to love and relationship, tends to mean that there's something that's just bothering you about it, and you need to not ignore your gut feelings. You need to really just listen to what your emotions, your heart, your soul, again, your sinking feeling in your gut, some sort of intuitive thoughts or something. you got to pay attention to those. And if you feel that something in your relationship is unhealthy, you're very likely correct. If you suspect that something's going on behind your back, remember, like we saw the betrayal, the 10 of Swords, you're very likely correct. And the best way to deal with it is to ask your partner about it. Come straight out like the King of Swords. If you've recently met somebody, on the other hand, or you meet somebody in December, get to know them. Like, don't get too carried away that believing that everything is as it appears and they are as they appear. Trust takes time to develop, and just don't be in too much of a hurry, which is, again, natural for you guys. You do tend to be the most patient, right? Okay, and steadfast. So use your natural abilities to that end. So with the 5 of Swords in reverse, the card that's actually in that placement of love and relationship, I went over the 9 first so that you can get the whole picture. This is a card that shows up to say something that I said earlier. You may be sacrificing your own happiness for the sake of someone else, or for the sake of, being able to say that you're right, or feel that you're right, or that you're doing the right thing. You did things the right way, the traditional way, and for that you're willing to, again, sacrifice yourself, risk your own feelings and happiness for the sake of doing this. Obviously, it's not a good idea. It's like, do you want to be right, or doing the so-called right thing according to, I don't know, who knows who, society or whatever, or do you want to be happy? Like, that's the choice that is here for Taurus to make. Sometimes you have to let go of, your ego. This could be you being bullheaded, being stubborn, which is also Taurus-like. There's a lot of things wonderful about you guys, but we all have negative traits too. And sometimes you just got to let go of some of those things and simply accept things as they are, situations as they are, and deal with them head on. Whether you're looking for love, or you're already, again, like in a long-term relationship. And Major Arcana card, Strength, shows up to say you will have the ability, the wherewithal, the, whatever you need to face any and everything that comes your way. Whether it's in love and relationship, or finding someone and meeting someone new, or, any other area of your life. Strength is an awesome card in any and every placement in which it shows up. Just it's here in love in your case, which is another reason why I said, don't worry, you're going to come out unscathed no matter what happens. But there's a couple things you may want to watch out for. Hope you guys have enjoyed your reading, and I'll be back next month. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that. If you are so inclined as to subscribe, please do hit both the subscribe button and the bell button, so that you'll hopefully receive your notifications. Namaste.